All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're doing good wherever you are, whenever this is that you're watching this. This is Mr. Malzberger with another online learning opportunity. Um, Today, we are going to work on finding exterior angles of polygons. Okay, so remember a polygon is a multiple-sided shape. A triangle is a polygon, a rectangle is a polygon, a pentagon, a hexagon, an octagon, and so forth. And we already know from an earlier lesson, when we were doing the exterior angles of triangles, we saw that the lines of the triangle went past the vertices, right? And then using our knowledge of interior angles, let's say this one's 60, 50, and 70, we saw that these made supplementary pairs, 180 degrees, on each of these vertices. So the interior angle and the exterior angle paired up to make 180. So we found that if this angle here was 50, well, you take 50 away from 180, and you're left with 130. So this one would be 130. And if you take 70 away from 180, you're left with 110. If you take 60 away from 180, you're left with 120. If we added those all up, 120 plus 110 and 130, you get 0, 6, 360, right? So the interior angles of the triangle were 180, and the exterior were 360. Let's go over look at our the rectangle and take a look at see if it matches or if it's different or how that works out. So I'm going to extend the lines past the vertices of the rectangle. And we already know that all of these interior angles are 90 degrees because it's a rectangle. Now, if it was a quadrilateral, we'd have different angles. So if there's 90 on the inside, what's on the outside? If you said 90, you're correct, because 90 and 90 makes 180 degrees. And if I do it over here, 90 and 90 make 180 degrees, and again, all four angles. And I have 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, which I know is 4 times 90. It's 360. So what we see here is that the exterior angles of a triangle are 360. The exterior angles of a rectangle are 360. Let's take a look at a pentagon. Now, you're going to have to suspend your disbelief that I made all these angles exactly the same, because I obviously didn't. That is not that is not a perfect pentagon at all. So yeah, sorry about that. The interior angles of a pentagon is actually 108 degrees. So we're just going to be, you know what I'll do here? I know what it's supposed to total. We'll give you a non-perfect one. This was a perfect rectangle. We'll give you an imperfect, irregular pentagon, and that'll work much better, because this definitely did not look like 108 degrees. That's less than 90. I would say that's 85 right there. And these guys are like, these guys are small. These guys are like 95 and 95. And then I'd say this one's small. This is the biggest, and this is the smallest. So 275, leaving me with 100. So let's do, I'd say this one's like 125 maybe? There's a 90 degree. Let's try 125. And just for fun, because the interior angle, see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So 5 minus 2 equals 3. And if I multiply that by 180, I get 540. So this has to equal 540. Right there, I've got 210 plus another 190, which is 400. So, wow, this guy's got to be 140. Okay, now let's extend those lines. Sometimes I like to talk to you about how I make these problems, because I realize that when you start building problems for kids, that's when you really understand them. Okay, so let's see. Well, there's a 180 pair, there's a 180 pair, there's a 180, there's a 180 here, there's a 180 supplementary pair there. So if I take 85 away from 180, I'm left with 95. Well, see, that's big, so I'm not thinking this is going to be 360. If I take 140 away from 180, I have 40. If I take 95 away from 180, I get 85. So get that twice. If I take 125 away from 180, let's see, 120 would be 60, so take away 5 from that, and I get 55. Okay, now I just did that all in my head. I apologize for all of you who are like, wait, I need to write that down and use the calculator. I'm going to add things up. 95 plus 55, well, the 5 makes it 100, so that's 150. I'm going to add the 40, that's 190. You can do the 5 and the 5 make 10, so that's 200 with the 190, plus another 160. So 200 plus 160 is 360. So you know what that means, boys and girls? It means that the exterior, can't write right, exterior sum of all polygons equals 360 degrees. So, unlike interior sums where you had to count the sides and figure it out because more sides means more interior angles, all exterior angles total 360. So let's do a couple practice problems and then I'll give you a sheet to work on. I'll give you one steps where you're just finding one missing angle. We'll start, here we go, I'll give you one right here. Yeah, you and you and you and you. That guy looks like a nice 90. And this guy looks like about a 110. And wait, this isn't what I'm supposed to do. Give me a second. I went on the inside first. That guy looked like a 90, so I put a 90 here. So let's put a 90 right there. This one's 90 degrees. I'll just write it out. Okay, give that guy 80 there, because that's what the 110 would be. I'll put X right there. And right here looks like about a 115. Okay, so how would we find this missing angle? Now I'm going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to give you a second to try it, of course. Well, you would add up all of these numbers and subtract them from 360, finding X. Do that now. Pause the video. Okay, so you should have added this all up and got 90 plus 80 is 170, 270, 280, 285. So you'd really get X plus 285 equals 360 degrees. It's a one-step equation. Of course, you guys could do this without the equation step and just do 360 minus 285. And that's 15 more make 300, so 15 plus 60 is 75 degrees. So 75 degrees right here. I'll give you another one to try. Five-sided shape. This guy looks like about an 80 degrees here. I'm going to say that these two are the same, just for... Nope. Just that one. 80, that's going to be the X. Let's make this guy 100. This guy's 85. And this guy right here looks like about a 65. Okay. Same exact problem. Pause the video now, solve for the missing angle, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, here we go. we've got, I'm going to add the 85 and the 65 first because I want to get rid of those two 5s. So 60 and 80 make 140, plus 10 more makes 150. There's 250. 250 plus 80, that's 330. So I get x plus 330 equals 360. So take away the 330. We get x equals 30. All right. So here is your first worksheet. I want you guys to pause the video. And you should have printed this out, or you can do this on a separate piece of paper. But here are angles, one-step practice. If you could do that now, we'll come right back to it. All right, you should have already solved all of these. Let's do these 4 problems here. Number 1, we've got 100 plus 80, that's 180, plus 60 more is 240. So I've got x plus 240 equals an exterior angle sum of 360 always, minus the 240 from both sides. X equals 120. So x equals 120 degrees. Moving on to number 2, I've got 90 degrees right here. I've got 90 degrees right there. Plus 40, plus a 90 degree angle right there. So 90, 180, 270. 270 plus 40 is 310. So I'm going to do x plus 310 equals 360 degrees. Take it away from both sides. I'm left with 50. So x equals 50 degrees right there. Okay, moving down to number 3, we've got a nice looking pentagon here. I've got too many 5s. Let's see, let's do this first. 60 and 50 are 110, plus 10 more is 120. Plus 80 makes 200, so 295 exactly. So x plus 295 equals 360. Subtract that 295 from both sides. 5 more gets me to 300, so 60 plus 5 is 65. That'll be right there. Cool. Last one. There's nothing there. I didn't write anything in. So how do I find the missing angles? Well, if I didn't write anything in, they all must be the what? That's right, they're the same. X, 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 and X. I bet that fooled you. And X! All right, let's count. We're going to start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 X's that equal 360. So I'm dividing by 8. 8 goes into 36 4 times. That's 32, leaving 40, and 8 goes into 40 5 times. So x equals 45 degrees, each one of those. That's a fun one. Okay, but of course, I'm not just going to have you find one missing angle. I'll give you multiple different ways of doing it. For example, I give you one where we're looking for a couple different. All right, join up there. And so now I'll have a couple disappearing. So let's do this one as, this guy looks like 80 right there. This is X. And this is X plus 30. And this looks like 100. Okay. So now what this will do is this will set up a two-step equation. If you want to pause right now and solve it yourself, you can. Otherwise, follow along. Here we go. I'm going to combine like terms. I've got 100 plus 80 is 180. 180 plus 30 is 210. So I've got 210. We know it's going to equal 360. And I've got two x's now. So I get 2x plus 210 is 360 degrees. As you already recognize, this is a two-step equation. You're going to subtract and then divide every single time. So first, take away your constant, 210 in this instance. I get 2x equals, well, there's 150. Divide by 2, I get x equals 75. Now I got to go back and I got to say this guy's 75, but the main reason I have to go back, if it's just one, who cares? But this isn't 75 degrees. This is 75 degrees plus 30 more. So that's 105 degrees right there. And you always got to find all the missing angles that are given to you. All right, let's do another practice problem and see how you guys are doing with this. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's right. I'm going to do this. This looks almost 90 degrees. So let's just give it a 90 degreeer. We'll make this guy 85 just for fun. We'll make this little dude right here X. We'll make him, okay, make this guy 2x, and we'll make this guy x plus, let me make sure I make that right. Gotta be divided. Yeah, I can be divided by 4. There we go. So 15. No, 25. That's what I want. X plus 25. Sorry. It's hard sometimes not having all your stuff with you at all times. I have all this stuff in my other room. I had to run away and let my son do online classes. And so now I'm doing this in the kitchen. Woohoo! Here we go. Let's see if this works out. I've got 1, 2 x's, 2 more here. That makes 4 x's. So I've got 4 x's here. I'm going to add up a 25 and an 85. That gives me 100 plus 10 more. And plus 90 makes 200. And that equals 360. So I'm going to take away the 200 here. And 360 minus 200 is 160. Second step is division. So divide by 4. And x equals 40. So this one is 40 plus 25. That makes 65. This one's just 40. This one's 2 times 40, which is 80 degrees. So these are the 2-step ones. They can get bigger, of course. Let's try one more giant one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's right, a septagon. Here we go. Let's find its totals. That is not the prettiest drawing ever. I apologize for that. I'm going to make these two the same, x and x. And this one looks the same, x. And I'm going to give that guy. So there's going to be 4 x's there. And let's make this guy 55. Let's make this guy 45 degrees. And let's make this guy, make him small just for fun. I'm gonna make him 20 degrees. All right, pause this one. Oops, I slid it over so you can see it. Okay, here we go. Pause your computer, get this one done. Pause your computer, pause the video. All right, I'm going to count up my x's first. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. Plus we got 55 and 45. If I put the 5 with that, it makes 60 right there. 60 and 40 is 100. That's 120. That equals 360 degrees. I'm going to take away the 120 from both sides. 36 minus 12 is 24, so that's 240. And I've got 4x left. Division is always the last step, and so x equals 24 divided by 4 is 6. So it's 60 degrees here, 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 and here. You didn't really have to fill those in because they're all the same. All right, so here is 4 problems for you to pause the video and get done. So pause it now, and I'll go over this with you. Okay, you should be done with these 4 wonderful problems, and I'm ready to go. So here we go. I've got 1, 2 x's right there. I've got 60 plus 50, which is 110, plus 10 more is 120, and 5 makes 125. And that equals 360. So if I take away the 125, I'm going to get, well, if I take 25 away from 60, I'm left with 35, and that's 235. Now, I'm going to divide 235 by 2. That's not an even number, so I'm going to get 117.5 degrees. So that means this one right here is 117 plus 5. That's 122.5 degrees. And this guy is 127.5 degrees. Didn't know you could have half degrees, did you? But you can. Okay, moving right along. We've got 1, 2, 3 x's right here. Going to add the 90 and the 65, 95 and 65. Put the 5 to make it 100, 160, 180. And that equals 360. Subtract the 180. And I'm left with 3x equals 180. And when I divide by 3, I know that x equals 60. Which means this guy is 60. This guy right here is 60. This guy is 60 plus 20, which is 80 degrees. Moving right along to a triangle just for fun. X plus x is 2x. I've got 20 plus 30 for 50. 50 plus 100 is 150. I'm going to take that away from 360. I get 2x equals, there's 10 right there, and 210. So divide it by 2, and I get x equals 105. So 105 plus 30 is 135 degrees, and 105 plus 20 is 125 degrees. Last one, here we go. 1, 2, I see 3 x's total. 5 plus 15 is 20. Plus 100 is 120. 160. 160 plus 50 is 210. Okay, and equals 360 again. Follow the pattern. Subtract away your constant. You're left with 3x equals, that's going to be 150. Divide by 3, and x equals 50. So this guy's 50. This guy is 50 plus 5, so 55. This guy is 50 plus 15, which is 65 degrees. All right, and that is a practice with exterior angles of polygons. Homework number 5, which is 5 questions, will be loaded up for you. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day.